Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus. My name is Cara Shirley. I'm your digital news desk host, and here we are on Wednesday, November the 6th. It is the day after Election Day. We now know who our president-elect is, and that is Donald J. Trump. He will be taking the office in January as president. He's the only president in the history of the United States to be voted in, or the only one of only two presidents, rather, in the history of the United States to be voted into a second term that was not a consecutive term. So we're going to get more into the election numbers, breaking down the numbers, especially here in Mississippi, for you in just a little bit. But before we get into that and we get into the news, let me first thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on our app or on our website, WLBT.com, very much appreciate you being here. And if you're tuning in on any of our social streams, we stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and sometimes on our Twitter page. But we do appreciate you coming and joining us as well there. If you're tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. I would love to know. And tell me how late you stayed up last night. Did you wait for the race to be called, or did you go ahead and go to bed? I thought I was going to go to bed, and then I ended up staying up until the race was called. So it was a very late night for me. I'm a little tired, but that's okay. I'm glad to be here with you guys and to be able to bring you the news of today. So before we jump into the news, rather, let me get words out of my mouth correctly. Before we jump into the news, let's take a look outside how about we look over Richland right now? So let me go to this camera for you. Here we go. So looking out over Richland, courtesy of our Renaissance camera, you can see it looks really pretty outside tonight. Not a lot of traffic on the interstate. Does look like we have some clouds moving in. And then, of course, we got some of those nice puffy clouds there. But it does look like it's going to be a beautiful day, or it is a beautiful day outside, rather. 2:30 today, our first alert weather team is going to be in here with you. They're going to be able to give you a full look at the forecast, as well as talk about Hurricane Rafael that is out there playing or projected to hit Cuba. And right now, it is looking like it is a Category 3 hurricane. Is that going to affect us here? Our first alert weather team is going to be able to give you all of that info in just a little bit. I'm going to give you a very brief look at the forecast, but they're going to be able to go very in depth with you. So let's go ahead and jump into the news, tell you some things that have happened here. Unfortunately, here in Jackson, the Jackson Police Department is investigating the city's latest homicide. So here is the view. Here we go. I have the wrong scene up. So this is exclusive video of the crime scene that happened on Monday, and it was on Bowers Avenue. So JPD says that Tristan Kimes was shot at that location. Detectives confirming that Kimes is also charged in connection to an accidental shooting death of a 9-year-old that happened in October of 2022. We don't have any additional information on that right now, but should we get that, we will definitely make sure to pass that along to you. Also, here in Jackson, there was a man that was robbed at a McDonald's here in Jackson. This happened on Monday night as well. So it was in the McDonald's parking lot that is off of Woodrow Wilson Avenue. JPD says that a man whose identity has not been released was attempting to purchase a car from someone that he met on Facebook when 3 unidentified black men robbed him. No one was injured in this, thankfully. No arrests have been made at this time. But if you have any information on this, please contact Jackson Police Department or Crime Stoppers. Yesterday here in Jackson, the police were very busy. Several stolen cars were recovered here in South Jackson. Volume down for you guys. So you can see here, this is where officers are responding to Diane Drive, which is off of Maria Drive. Detectives say they pinged a stolen car there at that location. Officers also recovered 2 more cars that were behind the home, and they found an ATV that had the VIN number scratched off of it. Homeowners were not there at the time. JPD is continuing to investigate to find out who will be arrested in this, and as soon as we get that information, we will pass it along to you. We told you a couple of days ago about a renter here in the Jackson area who's renting a home, and squatters had taken over that home. and he was not able to get them out of the home. So we talked to him, and now the squatters, or the alleged squatters that are in that home, have reached out to us, and we spoke with them as well. So the people that the Jackson men are calling a homeless squatters took over the home. They're denying that they actually have taken over this home. So Ricky Myers is the individual um, who is accusing 5 people of moving into a house on Windermere Trace without being invited. He says that they refused to pay rent, they damaged his property, and would not leave. So Derek Welburn says he has lived there for nearly 4 years, and he and 2 others that live there say they each paid Myers $125 a week for rent, and that they were dumbfounded by his accusations.
That is incorrect. That is a bald-faced lie.
Why?
Well, because he actually invited me himself. Like I said, I've lived with him at 2 separate addresses.
I'm not a homeless squatter. I mean, homeless squatters to me, if they are squatters and
We
homeless, they live in their car. If they have one, I got a car. Everybody here's got a car. We have jobs.
So the people at the home say that they are in talks with the landlord about staying and paying rent directly to the landlord rather than paying it to the man who says that he rents his home. So it's kind of looks like a situation maybe of he said. We're not really sure, but we brought you both sides of the story here. And if we get any updates on it, we will pass those along to you. Before we go into looking at the election numbers, let's take a look, or actually let's hear from our sponsor here at WLBT Plus, that is Jackson Water. Hear what they have to say.
Hey Jackson, curious about our water system? Join the Jackson Water Academy to get the inside scoop on our water and sewer operations. 3 sessions, 3 months, and a whole lot of hands-on know-how. You'll even get a behind-the-scenes tour of the O.B. Curtis Water Treatment Plant. So if you're ready to dive in, head to jacksonwater.com/Water Academy or give us a ring at 601-500-5200 to apply. But hurry, spots are going fast.
And we want to make sure to thank Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus. They allow us to bring you this every day or every weekday at 1 plus additional content that we are curating for you guys to bring to you very soon. But we are very appreciative of Jackson Water sponsoring WLBT Plus. So let's look at our forecast. Let's look at those numbers, the forecast numbers, before we look at the election numbers. And if we take a look outside right now, as far as our temperatures go in our area, we are all in the low 80s, some in the 70s. We got Vicksburg and Natchez in the 70s. Monticello is 85. They're the warmest place on the map right now. It's very muggy feeling out there. Very muggy feeling. It's not a cool 82. It's a muggy 82. Let's look at our radar right now, see if we have any rain in the area. And according to our radar, we don't have any rain in our area, but I believe we are expecting some chances of rain here. If we look at the next 12 hours, you see we're at a 20% chance of rain through right now. As we go later in the day, those rain chances drop off to 0%, dropping down into the mid 70s overnight. And our next 7 days, you see 20% chance of rain tomorrow, 30 on Friday. We jump up to 50% on Saturday and 40% on Sunday. So really the rain chances are looking about the same every day, except for Friday and Sundays when we got a little elevated chance. And you can see those temperatures are actually dropping down too. Look, 76 is the high on Sunday. So should be a nice, maybe rainy weekend, but I think we still need the rain. We had no rain for so long to really get the ground good and saturated so that we get rid of all drought conditions. We really still need to get some more rain in. So looking forward to getting that rain. If you want to hear the full details of your forecast, be back here at 2:30 to talk to the First Alert Weather team. So we know now, of course, that President-elect Donald Trump has been declared the winner of the election. The election was called shortly after 2:30, between 2:30 and 3 last night, or this morning rather. So it was a late night, but I don't think that it was as late as a lot of people thought that it was going to be. I think actually a lot of people were shocked to get get the results in as quickly as we did. We know now that VP Kamala Harris has reached out to Donald Trump to congratulate him on winning the election and conceding the election to him. At 3 o'clock today, she will be talking to, addressing the public rather, regarding her run and essentially what would be her speech to concede this. But that will be happening at 3 o'clock today, and we will have that here for you on WLBT Plus. So let's look at the numbers as what they happened here in Mississippi. 98% of ballots have been counted in Mississippi. 61.1% of the state voted for Donald Trump. Only 37.7% voted for Kamala Harris. And of course, that is according to the Associate Press. As compared to the 57% of the state that voted for Trump and the 41% that voted for Biden back in 2020. Now, in Hinds County, we had 73.3% of residents who voted for Kamala Harris, 25.3% voted for Donald Trump. In 2020, pretty much close to those same numbers. We had 73.4% for Biden and 25.1% for Trump. Again, this was for Hinds County. So again, reporting that Donald Trump has won the presidential election with 51.1% of the vote, while VP Harris has 47.5%. And voter turnout was really strong here in the metro yesterday. It was yesterday. I'm getting my days mixed up here. But voter numbers were very strong. There was a lot of people that came out. Lines were at many precincts, even before the doors opened at 7 o'clock yesterday morning. I'm sure a lot of you saw the videos or pictures of the lines outside of voting precincts. Election workers tell us that there was the line was steady throughout the day. The Secretary of State's office says at least 2,000 Mississippians submitted absentee ballots.
By 40. For me, my cost of living has increased by 40% in the past few years, and I feel like our country is leading in a direction I do not agree with. So I feel like it's important for me to vote.
It's always important to vote, and it's important for us to be heard. We need change. It's important. We just need continued growth. So I'm going to cast my vote, and I'm looking forward for what the future holds.
Folks, take care.
So voters say that they did expect the longer wait times this year with so much interest in this election, and it was a very big election. I'm glad that we're on the other end of it, though, the other side of it. Now, in Ridgeland, there was a sales tax and a hotel/motel tax that everybody was voting on there. It did not pass. It was 58% of voters voted for the tax, 41% voted against it. However, that needed 60% of the vote to pass. So that the tax for restaurants and hotels or motels did not pass in Ridgeland. And this was to help, or hopefully to help fund capital improvements for the enhancement of Freedom Ridge Park. So that did not pass. And we go to House District 4, and I'm going to go to our website, and you guys can see all of this on our website at WLBT.com. Let's see, here we go. Make sure I got it right for you. Here we go. House District 4 right here. So that was taken by Mike Ezel, GOP there. He had 189,103 votes, 74.6% of the vote. And Craig Rabin had 25.4% of the vote. If you go here, you can see, and you can break this down really by the counties, by the ballots counted, uncounted votes. You can see that there are no uncounted votes there in this district. But if you go to our website, that's how you can look at all of this and break it all down. If we go to House District 1, that is up in North Mississippi. Trent Kelly won that by 69.9%, and Diane Black had 30.1% of the vote there. If we go to District 2, I can see that Benny Thompson, he was the incumbent. He received 61.7% of the vote, and Ron Eller was 38.3%. And if we go to District 3, which Michael Guest ran uncontested, so he did win that race there. Let me see what else we have here. And then we have our U.S. Senate race. Pull this back up for you. Actually, let me go full screen. You can see it a little better there. So our Senate race, Roger Wicker won that 63% of the vote, and Ty Pinkins was running against him. 37% of the vote is what he received. And if we come here, you can see even for the presidential election as it breaks down by the counties here in the state of Mississippi. Of course, Donald Trump received 61.1% of the vote here in Mississippi, while VP Harris received 37.7%. And we've got just under 1% of the vote combined for Robert Kennedy, Chase Oliver, and Jill Stein. So we can see here who the clear winners are in all of these races, especially with the amount of votes that all of the votes have been counted. So, or at least more than 99% according to the AP here. So we can say pretty much that every vote has been counted. There are not, if there are any votes left out there uncounted, there's not enough of them to make a difference in the races now. As I said last night, when it got to the end of it, once they started naming off the states that was getting called for Trump, it just became to one point where there was no path for a victory for VP Harris. So, and that is when they called it for Trump very late into the night. Well, guys, it is very quick to WLBT Plus today. I know that, but we've been talking elections so much. Wanted to make sure I touched on these numbers, broke them down for you. We are going to have some more stories, more follow-up for you on our newscast, so you want to make sure you are tuning into the newscast. Again, download our news app so that you can get our breaking news notifications. You can also watch our newscast there, whether it be live or on demand if you're not able to catch them live. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Hope you guys have a great day. I feel like tomorrow's going to be a big day here in the Hinds County. So we will be here, and I'll be here with you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You guys have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.